Hello everybody, welcome. My name is Freya and today I'm going to be guiding you through a slow and strong Vinyasa practice to build some fire in the core and some strength in the legs. This class is for all levels, but I always encourage you to listen to your body. If you are a beginner, just take it slow, and if anything doesn't feel right, please come out of the pose. As always, we're really going to focus on the breath. So we're going to be bringing the breath from the chest into the belly. So I always remind my students not to force the breath. It should feel really natural. Breathing in the belly can feel a little bit unnatural at the beginning, but I really encourage you just to remind yourself, if you come out of the breath, bring it back into the belly. So in saying that, we're going to start in a child's pose. I love to start my classes in child's pose because I think it really grounds me and brings me really deeply into my practice. So touch the big toes together, send the knees out wide, and then just sink back onto the heels and reach the arms forwards. If you can, press your forehead to the mat. Let's start by taking one deep breath in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. As you exhale, start to feel your body sinking deeper into the pose. Let's do that again. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale, let it out through the mouth. Start to breathe in through the nose only. Inhaling deeply, and as you inhale, feel the belly rise. Exhale out of the nose, feel the belly fall. You're going to take 5 more mindful breaths. Breathing in through the nose only. As you inhale, relax the abdomen, and exhale all the air out. If breathing through the nose doesn't feel good, I do invite you to exhale out through the mouth. Just do whatever feels good for you today. This practice shouldn't feel forced. There shouldn't be any tension or resistance as you practice. As you continue to breathe, just let yourself become more and more relaxed. Allow the body to sink deeper, the hips to sink deeper down towards the heels. Last 2 full breaths. Last one. And as you inhale in your last breath, pause at the top of the inhale. And let's all let out a big sigh out through the mouth. Beautiful. Start to press into the hands. Coming up onto all fours, we're going to come into tabletop. So press the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips, and just allow the feet to fall down. So you don't want to be tucking in the heels, you don't want to be sending the feet out, you just want to be pressing into the hands, lightly pressing into the tops of the feet. Beautiful. We're going to take an inhale, and as we inhale, start to dip the back and look up towards the ceiling of the sky. Exhale, round the spine, look towards the belly. Moving through cat-cow. Inhale, look up. Exhale, roll the back. Look towards the belly. 3 more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Last 2. Inhale, look up towards the sky or ceiling. Exhale, roll the spine, look towards the belly. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Bring the spine to neutral, and then we're going to tuck the toes, and we're just going to lift off the knees. So we're going to press into all 10 fingers, and just gently start to lift the knees. Notice that I'm slightly doming the top of my back, so I'm not arching through the back. And then keep the breath again into the belly. Keep the neck straight and keep the knees lifted. We'll be here for 3 more breaths. You might start to feel the body shake. That's completely normal. Activating the core. You should be feeling this more in your belly than your legs, more in your core muscles. Last full breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, drop the knees, Step the tailbone up towards the sky. Come into cow. And then roll the back. Coming into cat. Beautiful. We're going to come into a little bit of a shoulder opener. So we're going to inhale, reach up the top arm. So the right arm comes towards the ceiling. And then we're going to exhale, tuck that right arm underneath the left shoulder. Lay down onto that right shoulder. And then maybe take the left hand behind the back. I like to just hook it into the inside of my thigh. Close the eyes and just start to open up that shoulder towards the ceiling. Notice the breath, bring it back to the belly. Let's take 3 more full breaths. And the tailbone and sit bones are high. We're not sinking into the heels. And you should be really feeling this stretch along the chest and then into that left shoulder. 1 more full breath. Release that left hand, press it back into the mat, bring yourself back to a tabletop. We'll come through 1 round of cat-cow. Inhale up to cat-cow, look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, roll the spine to cat, look towards the belly button. Beautiful, bring yourself back to neutral. If you need to, align those hands underneath the shoulders. And then we'll come on to the other side. So we'll inhale, lift up the left arm this time. Look up towards the ceiling or the sky. And then exhale, tuck that left hand underneath the right shoulder. And then that right arm can float around. And just see how I tuck it gently into the inside of the thigh. This might not be available to you, but if it is a really beautiful way to open up that shoulder. Again, keep the breath in the belly. We'll be here for 5 breaths. Last full breath. And as you exhale, press that right hand back to the mat. Bring yourself back to the center. Let's roll through 2 cat-cows. Inhale, look up to the ceiling. Exhale, roll the spine, look to the belly. Inhale, look up to the ceiling. Exhale, roll the spine, look towards the belly. Beautiful. We're going to come into puppy pose or mountain heart pose. So just align the knees back underneath the hips. And keeping the sit bones high, we're going to start to reach forward with the hands and send the sit bones up towards the ceiling. And if you can, bring the chest down towards the mat. This might be where you stay, and that's perfectly fine. Or maybe you come down with the chin. Wherever you are, sending the breath deeply in through the nose, out through the nose. Feel the belly rise and fall as you inhale and exhale. So again, this is a really beautiful way to open up the shoulders, especially if you're sitting for long periods. Maybe you're sitting at a computer or a desk. This is just a beautiful way to open up the chest, bring some fresh energy into that front side of the body. It's just a really beautiful way to wake up the body, no matter what time of day it is. 2 more full breaths. Beautiful, and then we're going to tiptoe the hands back underneath the shoulders, align the spine. Let's take 2 more rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, look up towards. Exhale, roll the spine, look towards the belly. The last one, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful, come back to neutral, tuck the toes and send the hips back to downward facing dog. So just notice where you are in your downward facing dog. Maybe you need to bend the knees, and it doesn't matter if the heels touch the mat. The most important thing is that you're pressing through the hands, sending those sit bones high, and at the same time opening up the shoulders. So you're not crunching the shoulders or the elbows in towards the ears, but opening up and creating space. So the body is coming into a V shape. Tailbone high, palms pressing into the mat. And then just notice if your neck is holding any tension. Can you just rock out the neck? Maybe take a few yeses, maybe a few no's with the head. Beautiful, and then come high up onto the toes, bend the knees, just start to walk the feet to the top of the mat. For this first round, we'll just go really, really slowly. Bend the knees as much as you need to, When you get to the top of the mat, take opposite elbow with opposite hand and just let the body hang over the legs. This should feel really good. Bend the knees as much as you need to, and maybe take the feet about a hip width distance apart for more stability. While you're here, just start to rock backwards and forwards, heel to toe, just testing the balance, and then just notice the neck again. Can you just nod it out? Release any tension. Let's take a full belly breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Release the hands. Keep the neck heavy. Keep the head heavy. And slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, start to peel yourself up to standing. Leaving the head and neck last. Releasing the arms by the side. Float the hands together at prayer. Press the thumbs to the sternum. Spread the toes wide on the mat. Close down the eyes. Set an intention today for your practice. It can be a word, it can be an affirmation. It can be something that you want to cultivate into your life, give you more peace, patience, understanding. Whatever it is, just make sure it goes beyond just exercise. Once you set your intention, gently flutter open the eyes. Release the palms down, facing forwards, coming into Tadasana. Take an inhale, reach up, press the palms together. We're going to come through sun salutation A. Exhale, press the palms through heart center. Back straight as long as possible. And then release yourself down the legs, bend the knees. Inhale, take a halfway lift, hands to shins, back straight, neck long. Exhale, press the palms, bend the knees, and then step back into plank. For this first round, we're going to drop the knees. So gently drop the knees, tuck the elbows into the side of the body. Lay all the way down onto the mat, and then inhale, gently peel the chest off the mat, coming into low cobra. Little to no weight in the hands, so if you can, start to lift off the hands. Notice if you're pressing into the hands for support. All of the work should be coming from the lower back, and there should be no pain in the lower back. Gently press the hands back on the mat. Exhale, bend the knees, tuck the toes, back to downward facing dog. Let's take a full cleansing breath here in downward facing dog, in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Inhale, come high up into the toes, bend the knees, step or jump to the top of the mat. Feet together, big toes touch. Inhale, halfway lift, back straight, neck long. Exhale, fold over the legs, bend the knees as much as you need to. And then inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Press the palms through heart center. Arms by your side. We're going to keep flowing 2 more times. Inhale. Moving really slowly and mindfully with the body. Exhale, flow through heart center. Inhale, halfway lift, back straight, neck long. Exhale, press the palms to the mat, step the feet back. This time, option to come through Chaturanga, keeping the elbows close to the side body. And then maybe inhale to upward facing dog. Tops of the feet are the only thing touching the mat apart from the hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, maybe roll over the toes. Downward facing dog. Again, let's do a cleansing breath here, really keeping the breath in the belly. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Inhale, come high up onto the toes, bend the knees, look forwards. Step, jump or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, back straight, neck long. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Press the palms together. Arms by your side, Tadasana. Last one. We're really moving with the breath, mindfully, slowly, as if moving through water. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, press the hands to the mat, step back into plank. Float through your Chaturanga or bend your knees. Inhale to your upward facing dog, don't rush. Exhale as if moving through water. Come to your downward facing dog. Full breath in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Beautiful, taking the weight onto the left foot. As you inhale, we're going to reach up the right leg, flex the toes. Bend the knees and start to open up the hip. Keeping those back, keeping that, left heel connected to the mat. Inhale, straighten the leg. And then exhale, roll into plank and bring the knee to the chest. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring that knee back to the chest. Inhale, three-legged dog. Again, we're moving gently, we're moving slowly, we're moving with resistance. Exhale, back to plank, knee to the chest. Last one, inhale. And as you exhale, knee to the chest, pause here, and then lightly step that foot in between the hands. Drop that back knee. Take the left hand to the inside of the right foot, and then grow the left arm up towards the ceiling. Option to keep the knee down, or if you'd like to go a little bit deeper, tuck the back toes. Keep that breath in the belly. Three more full, deep belly breaths. Beautiful. On your next exhale, drop that back knee. Take the hands to the inside of the foot. Start to tiptoe that foot out towards the edge of the mat. Press the hands into the mat. Gently open the chest, look forwards. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper here, we're going to be here for 3 breaths. Feel free to come down to the elbows. This is a very deep hip opener, so just use the breath to guide you. Maybe close the eyes if you need to be more present with the body. 2 more full breaths. And then when you finish your last breath, place your hands back underneath the shoulders, tuck the back toe, and then step the back foot out. We're going to come into warrior 1. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sink into the legs. So that back heel should be in line with the middle of the foot. So the arch of the foot. Front leg is bent and the knee should be tracking over the heel. So if it's not, mine's a little bit forwards. Just gently switch it back. Beautiful. Keeping the arms up, keeping the breath in the belly. Take an inhale. Exhale, maybe sink a little bit deeper. 3 more full belly breaths here. And inhale, look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, open the arms, warrior 2. So notice how the hips are not moving, but just opening up the arms and looking over that front arm. We're going to move here, we're going to start to flow. So inhale, straighten the front leg, press the palms together overhead. Exhale, bend that front knee, come back into warrior 2. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale, float the arms up, straighten the front leg. Exhale, warrior 2. Last 2. Last one. And exhale. Beautiful. Drop that right elbow onto the right leg. Inhale, reach up the left arm. And we're going to be imagining that somebody's gently pulling the fingers. So that stretch is coming all the way from the back of the foot right to the tips of the toes. And see if you can turn out onto the blade edge of that back foot. So the pinky toe side of that back foot is slightly open. Keep breathing. Maybe you can start to float off that top arm. We've got 3 more full breaths. Or I should say bottom arm. So the right arm lifted. Left arm lifted. Keep breathing in the belly. Last full breath. And then drop that right elbow back to the leg if you've moved it. Inhale, come back to a warrior 2. Straighten that front foot, flip the palms, move into Trikonasana. So Trikonasana, we're keeping the front leg straight, opening up the palms, looking up towards the ceiling, and just imagining that you're standing against a wall, so the back of your body is straight. You're not collapsing into that front leg, you're lifting up through the side body. Keep breathing in through the nose only. And then inhale, bring yourself back to the center. Exhale, gently reverse the warrior, tucking that left hand behind the back, right arm high. Inhale, back to warrior two. Exhale, float through a vinyasa or come straight into a downward facing dog. If you're coming through a vinyasa, step into plank, float through chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take one full cleansing breath in downward facing dog. In through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Beautiful, stepping the weight this time onto the right foot. Inhale, reach the left leg high. Again, bend that left knee and start to open up the left hip. Keep the breath in through the nose and we're gently looking underneath the right armpit. 2 more full breaths. And then inhale, straighten up that left leg. Exhale, bend the knee, float into plank, knee to the chest. Inhale back to three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to chest. 3 more. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, three-legged dog. Last one. Exhale, knee to the chest. And then gently float that foot to the center line of the body. Drop that back knee. And this time we take the right hand to the inside of the left foot and float open the left hand. Option to stay here or tuck the back foot for more of a strength, more of a strength than a stretch, I should say. Keep the breath in the belly. Three more full breaths. Beautiful, and then drop that back knee. Start to take that left foot to the outside of the mat. And then the hands are going to come to the inside of the foot. And again, maybe this is where you stay, so the chest up. Or if you feel like you've got a little bit more space, you can start to tiptoe down, maybe onto the forearms or the elbows. Again, use this as a moment to connect with the breath, so maybe close down the eyes and bring the breath deeply in through the nose, out through the nose. We've got 3 more rounds of breath. Next inhale, start to gently tiptoe the hands back to the center if you've taken them down. Tiptoe that foot to the center line of the body and then turn the back heel out. We're going to come floating up into a warrior one. So again, we're going to be turning out into the blade edge of that back foot. Noticing if the knee is tracking over the ankle. If it's not, maybe shift the weight a little bit forwards. And then your hips are going to be directly in the center. Let's take 3 full breaths here. Starting to feel the legs fire up. Breathing in through the nose only. Last full breath. And then straighten that front foot. And then float the arms to warrior two. So again, we're not moving the legs, we're not moving the hips. Ideally, the hip bones are going to be facing forwards as if you've got 2 headlights. But if this puts any pressure on the knee, feel free to come back slightly with the right hip. Otherwise, aligning the warrior two, looking over the front fingers. We're going to start to move here. We're going to start to float. Inhale, press the palms together. Exhale, warrior two. 4 more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Drop the left elbow onto the left thigh. Inhale, reach up the right arm. So again, we're sending that stretch right from the back of the right foot, right the way to the tips of the right fingers. Stretching out through the shoulder and maybe taking the gaze down, or you can gently look up towards that raised hand. Wherever you are, you're strong through the legs. Again, sending the energy out through that back side or the back edge of the foot. This is going to really activate the inner thighs and keep you balanced. Keep breathing. And maybe you can float off that left arm, coming into more of a challenge. We've got 3 more full breaths. This is a good way to activate the side of the body, activate the core. 2 more full breaths. And then inhale, come back to the center. Straighten that front foot. Exhale, Trikonasana. So notice how the back of my body is straight. I'm not collapsing into the front of the foot. I'm actively lifting up through the right side of the body. Look up towards the hands. Keep the breath in the belly. 2 more full breaths. And then inhale, bring yourself back to warrior 2. Exhale, quickly reverse the warrior. We won't be here for long. Inhale back to warrior 2. Windmill the hands, frame the front foot. Come through Vinyasa or come straight into downward facing dog. If you're coming through Vinyasa, floating through Chaturanga, inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full cleansing breath in downward facing dog. In through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Inhale, come high up onto the toes. Float up that right foot, flex the toes. So you're high up onto the toes. If this is not possible because of your balance, you're going to send the heel of the right or the left foot back down. Keeping the toes flexed on the right foot, take an inhale here. And then exhale, bring the knee to the chest and float that foot forwards, coming straight into a high lunge. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, sinking the hips. It's the same principle here, that right knee should be directly over the right ankle. And we're sending energy out through the back heel. Take an inhale, look up. We're going to start to float. Inhale, look up towards the sky. Exhale, float over the front legs, coming into arrowhead. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, arrowhead. Inhale, reach up. Keeping the balance, moving slowly. Exhale. Last one, inhale and exhale. This time, inhale, and we're going to clench the fists. And we're going to come into a twist over that right leg. So take an inhale, look up slightly, find your balance, and then exhale, twist over the right leg. If you can, take your gaze over that back arm. Keep the breath in the belly. Last full breath. And then inhale, sweep the arms up. We're going to float here. So we're going to do 4 rounds. Inhale, look up. Exhale, float into the twist. Should be really feeling some fire in the legs as you inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Bring yourself up. Unclench the fists. Reach up towards the sky. And then exhale. Float over that front foot. Take a moment just to feel that beautiful stretch on the outside of the glute. And then we'll float through Vinyasa or just come straight to downward facing dog. If you're floating through Vinyasa, coming through Chaturanga, inhaling to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full cleansing breath again in downward facing dog, in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Left leg comes high, flex the left toes. Inhale here. Exhale, bring the knee to the chest. Pause here, and then step that foot forwards, come straight up into a high lunge. So again, energy is coming out through the back heel, sink into the hips. Find your balance. We're going to start to float. Inhale, look up. Exhale, arrowhead. So again, moving gently, Moving mindfully is going to help you keep your balance here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 2 more rounds. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Inhale, exhale. Beautiful. Reach up, clench the fist, and then again, we're going to come into a twist. At this time, we're coming over and around the left leg. Looking over and along that back arm if you can. Otherwise, just gazing forwards. Whatever's going to help you with your balance. Keep the breath in the belly. Remember to send the energy out through that back heel. It's really going to help with the balance. One more full breath. And then we're going to start to float. So remember that always is the option to drop that back knee if you need to. Otherwise, straighten up the arms. Exhale. 3 more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Release the grip. Inhale. Reach back up. High lunge. Exhale. Float over that front foot. Take a moment just to take a stretch. And then either come through a vinyasa or straight into downward facing dog. We're almost there. Press back into downward facing dog. Let's drop the knees for a quick child's pose. Pressing the toes together, reaching the palms forward. Connecting the forehead to the mat. Let's take a full breath in through the nose. Let it out with a sigh through the mouth. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful, pressing through the forearms, coming up into a tabletop. And let's float into our last downward facing dog of the class. So tuck the toes, send the heels back, sit bones high. Inhale, come high up onto the toes, bend the knees, look forwards, step, jump or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Press through heart center. Arms by your side, Tadasana. Beautiful. Let's just take a moment just to ground ourselves. Bring the breath back into the belly. Recall that intention you made at the beginning of the class. Remember why you practiced today. What is it that you're trying to cultivate into your life? And then draw the hands to the heart center. Press the thumbs to the sternum. Stay where you are. I'm going to turn around to show you. We're going to take the weight onto the right foot. And then we're going to take the left foot either to the ankle, below the knee, or you can guide it all the way up to the thigh. Just be mindful of that knee. There should be no pressure on the knee joint here. Just need to be really careful where we put that foot. So if it is too challenging here and you feel it slipping towards the knee, no worries, just take it down below the knee. Once you're there, press the hands together, find your balance. Got up a lot of fire in the legs, so we're just really taking it down. We're starting to become connected with the breath again. When you feel ready, start to float the arms up. Reach the palms up. Spread the fingers wide. Focus on a still focal point in front of you. Keep the breath in the belly. Beautiful. Start to float the hands back down to heart center, pressing the palms together. Bring the knee forwards. And either stay here or start to extend that foot forwards. Again, notice where the breath is helping you back into the belly. Here for 3, 2, 1. Drop that leg back. Release the palms, close the eyes, full breath in through the nose. Let it out with a sigh through the mouth. Beautiful, taking the opposite side. So again, no worries if the foot is even on the ground with the toes there. That's a beautiful place to start. Or just below the knee. If you do feel like you've got a bit more space, you can place it on the top of the thigh. Once you're there, press the palms together. Find that still focal point in front of you to keep your balance. And then whenever you feel ready, start to grow the arms. Reach up. Spread the fingers wide. Shoulders down away from the ears. Top of the head grows towards the ceiling. Keep the breath in the belly. Spread the bottom feet wide. Bottom toes wide. 2 more full breaths. Press the palms together. Draw that energy through the heart center as if you're flowing through water. Release the foot. Knee comes towards the chest. Stay here. We'll start to flex those toes forward. Just be here for 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Press back down onto the mat. Release the hands. Full breath in through the nose. Let it out with a sigh. Beautiful. Inhale, reach up the arms, and we're going to step to the long length of the mat, and we're going to turn the toes outwards. So we're going to come into a goddess flow. This is my version of a goddess flow. It's just a really beautiful way to open up the chest and to really get into the hips as well. So you want to take your feet quite wide. We're going to inhale, float up the hands, press the palms together, and then exhale, bend the elbows, bend the knees. Just start to shift the weight backwards and forwards. Close down the eyes. Play with the balance. Beautiful. Bring yourself into stillness. Bring the weight to the center of the body and then press the palms together. Press the thumbs to the sternum. Start to feel that activation in the thighs. Breathe into the belly. 2 more full breaths. Beautiful. Inhale, sweep the arms up, straighten the legs, press the palms together. Exhale, bend the elbows, cactus the arms, bend the knees. Inhale, float up, press the palms together. Exhale, cactus the arms, bend the knees. Keep moving for 5 more. Inhale, exhale. If it feels good, maybe you can open the chest on the exhale. Again, it's like we're moving through water, moving with resistance. Also moving fluidly. I've lost count. I think we have 3 more. Keep the breath in the belly. Last 2. Last 1. And exhale. Beautiful. Keeping the knees bent. We're going to drop the right elbow onto the right thigh and reach up the left arm. So this is a side bend, but also a squat at the same time. So maybe you need to draw the feet a little bit closer together and then looking underneath that left arm. Just 2 breaths here. You might be starting to feel the legs shake, or maybe you can start to lift off that top arm for an even deeper, more activated stretch. Inhale, come back to the center, straighten the legs. Exhale, bend the knees, drop the left elbow onto the left thigh. Inhale, reach up the right arm. So again, we're bending deeply into the knees, but we're also lifting up out of the waist. Maybe you can float that left arm up. Keep that deep squat. Notice if you've shifted onto one side, bring yourself back to the center. Just 2 more full breaths. Beautiful, and then bring yourself back to the center. I promise we're finished with the legs now. Give yourself a little shake. Bring the hands to heart center. Recenter the body. Recenter the breath. Beautiful, and then start to tiptoe the feet slightly in. We're going to turn the heels out, the toes in. Take an inhale, interlace the fingers behind the back, and then we're going to look up towards the sky. And then exhale, fold over the legs. Maybe you need to come a little bit wider, just depending on your flexibility. And once you're there, option to keep the hands here, or you can float them down to the mat. Take any variation that feels good to you. Maybe you want to take your peace fingers around your big toes. Maybe you want to take your hands around your ankles. Just wherever you are, just notice the breath. And don't pull or push too much into this pose. If you need to, you can take a slight bend in the knees. The most important thing is that there's no pain in the knees or in the joints. Keep the breath deep for 3 more full breaths. Beautiful, release the hands to the mat. Start to straighten the back and tiptoe the hands forwards. Take the left hand to the center of the body, and we're going to reach up the right arm. And just notice that the hips or the hips don't move. So if they do, you might have gone too far. Just bring your hands back to the mat. Otherwise, we're lifting up through the side of the body, opening the chest, maybe taking the gaze to the ceiling, or it can just gently track down to that front hand. Keep the breath deep. 2 more full breaths. And then release yourself back down. Turn the fingers just briefly towards the body and just take a little wrist stretch. So just looking gently forwards, gently pressing the hands into the mat. And then we'll turn the fingers back to face the front of the room. We'll take that right hand this time to the center of the body, and then we'll start to grow and lift up that left arm. So again, we don't want the hips to pop up. We try and keep it really straight back. And keep the sit bones pointing towards the back of the room. If this doesn't feel accessible for you, no worries. Just keep yourself in that forward fold, or you can press the hands or the fingertips onto the mat. Again, we're not pushing or straining the body. We should always be feeling good in the poses. Last full breath. And then bring yourself back down to the center. Again, just briefly turn the fingers towards the body. Maybe bend the knees slightly. And then bringing the fingers back onto the mat, facing forwards. Bend the knees a lot and start to tiptoe the feet back to the center. Beautiful. Once the big toes touch, uncurl the spine slowly and gently, vertebrae by vertebrae, until you come to standing. Beautiful, we're done. Almost. I'm going to come into some stretching, and then we're finished. So, beautiful work. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forwards. And this time we're just going to sit back onto the mat. So just taking the feet forwards, sitting onto the sit bones, and taking the hands behind the body. You can come up onto the fingertips, and we're just going to open up the chest here. This might be as far as you go if you're a little bit tight in the hamstrings, or maybe you want to start to gently tiptoe forwards. I'm a little bit tight in my hamstrings, so this is as far as I go. And then just when you feel like you're at your edge, you can just gently start to bring the forehead or the top of the head down towards the legs. So as always, it's not about how you look, it's just about what you're cultivating in your class. So if you feel yourself becoming too attached to how far you can go down, or how you look in the pose, just remember that it's always a practice. And as long as you're connecting with your breath, it doesn't matter how your body looks, it's just about really how it feels. So as always, we're not pulling or pushing into the pose, we're just coming down to where we feel an edge, a slight stretch, a slight discomfort. Beautiful, take one more full breath. And then slowly bring yourself up, back to seated. We've done a lot of work on the legs, so it's natural that they might be feeling a little bit shaky. I know mine are feeling quite shaky, so just give them a little rock from side to side. Beautiful. And then we're going to take the left foot to the inside of the thigh. Just turn yourself around, so again you're on that long edge of the mat. are, so they should be pointing straight. We're just going to start to reach over that front foot. Maybe you can grab that front foot with flexed toes. And then again, we're just keeping the length in the body, so we're not collapsing into the body. It should feel really lovely, a really lovely stretch along the side of the body and also to the inside of the thigh. Keep the breath deep. Beautiful. Inhale, come back to the center. Take the hands behind the body. Just give that knee a little shake from side to side. And then from here, we're going to bring the right foot in front of us, flexing the toes. And that left foot is going to come around the right. Beautiful. So if you're a beginner, you're probably just going to want to stay here. If you are a little bit more advanced or you have a stronger practice, maybe you can start to bend that back foot. But just make sure that wherever you are, both of your sit bones are connected to the ground. Take an inhale, sweep up the arms, and I'm going to take the right elbow around and on to the left. So we're coming into a twist. Beautiful. Wherever you are, just notice where the breath goes. Bring it back into the belly. And again, we're not straining or pulling and pushing into any of the poses. We're just allowing our body to do the work. And just allowing the mind to relax. No attachment to how you look in the pose. Just keep the focus on the breath. Beautiful. Take 2 more full breaths. And then gently and slowly unwind. Just take a little counter twist over to the other side. Beautiful. And then straighten that foot if you've taken it around to the side. Unwind that left foot. And then we're going to come into the other side. So just give yourself a little stretch, a little wiggle. Beautiful. And then this time, the left leg is extended, the right foot bends. And again, if you are feeling a little bit more flexible, maybe you can bend that left leg and come into the full version of the pose. When you're there, sweep the arms up, press the palms together, and this time it's the left elbow coming around onto the right thigh, coming into that twist. Take the right hand, if you can, behind the body, just overnight shoulders. Keep the breath deep. Maybe close down the eyes. Three more full breaths. And then with the next exhale, release the hands. Take them behind the body. Unwind that right leg. If you've bent the left leg, send both legs out straight. Give your knees a little bounce. Give yourself a little shake. And then take the left leg out to the side. Take the right foot to the inside of the thigh. We're going to come into that beautiful stretch again. This time on the left side. So inhale, sweep up the arms. And then exhale, take that left hand, if you can, to the inside of the foot. Otherwise, to the shin or to the knee is fine. Again, we're creating length here. We're not collapsing into the body. So we're reaching up, maybe looking up towards that top arm, or gently looking down towards the mat. Wherever you are, keep the breath in the belly. Last full breath. And inhale, bring yourself back to the center. Take the hands behind the back. And then we're going to turn around, flex the feet, and come into that forward fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Keep the breath deep. Close down the eyes if it feels good. Last full breath. And then inhale, bring yourself all the way up. Bring Bring your hands out to shoulder height, and we're just going to start to lay down the body. So you might need to shift yourself slightly forwards. We're coming into our final Shavasana. We'll just do a quick little ab strengthening before we go. So we're going to come down for 10 seconds, keeping the toes flexed, rolling the back. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Head comes down last. Relax the body. The work is done. Take a full breath in through the nose. Let it out the side through the mouth. So this is the end of the class. I really invite you to stay here as long as you need. I encourage you to stay for at least 5 minutes, just to allow the body to recover and for the practice to really sink in. If you're leaving, taking your left hand to your heart, your right hand to your belly. Thank you so much for joining me today for practice. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.